How long have you guys been doing this and been promoting it, and what types of things are you doing to promote?
It's very new, right?
Mhm.
I mean, in terms of like the dog training service on Rover,
Yeah.
it is, I think, what end of 2024, we started in just 3 pilot markets,
Right.
right? And then
Mhm.
kind of gradually increased. So we technically launched nationally, but I think it's like, you can't put your focus everywhere all at once. So we're still
Right.
like Rover is still very much focused on specific markets and trying to kind of
Uh-huh.
build those up. I think Rover moves very fast, but I think there still was a year basically where we kind of moved market by market, increasing,
Yeah.
and got a lot of feedback, learned, made changes.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean it's very new. And
Yeah.
that's one thing I always like. I tell trainers, and I will say to clarify an earlier point, I talk to a lot of trainers that are not on the platform, Kate. A lot of trainers that, for whatever reason, it's something that they just choose not to be involved with. I love hearing that feedback because I think it helps us grow. Um, but yeah, I think I mean, it's new, and I like to have these conversations with trainers because I kind of can always remind them, like, your feedback really matters. Like, Rover
Yeah.
is listening
Absolutely.
and trying to, as much as we can, kind of evolve with the trainers that are on the platform. Like, what do
Mhm.
you need to help your business grow?
Right.
Um, so yeah, it's
Let let's talk about that for a second, because you bring up an interesting point that there are trainers that they have their own business and they're like, no, I'm not going to be on Rover. So if you're a trainer and you have your own business, and you, because I ran into this, I had to take all the doggone positive stuff off, and
mm,
I wasn't even thinking. I was like, just subconsciously just do, 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 and they're like, okay, you have to take that off, you have to take this off.
yeah.
And I was like, oh crap, you're right, I have all this stuff, this is for Rover. So do you have like it's like, okay, can I do my business and Rover? I'm sure that may be a question that other trainers have out
Yeah.
there. Is there a conflict of interest? Is there a non-compete, etc.? Like, speak to that for people who are interested in, hey, I want to be a dog trainer and this is a good avenue. Talk
Yeah,
about that.
yeah, yeah, definitely. It's a great question. I think it's probably the most common question that I get personally is like,
Hmm.
well, I have my own business. Like, can I do both? I think people are always kind of looking for the catch too when I talk to them.
Yeah.
And I mean, one of the things that I really appreciate is that it is low risk. Like, there's no
Right.
cost to sign up, there's no cost to maintain. It's a commission based service, right? I think we're
Yeah.
very, like, that is front and center. It is commission based. But I think it is very much, I mean, we have a ton of trainers on the platform who have their own independent thriving business.
Right.
I've spoken with a lot of trainers that are like, I just responded to an email this morning, like, someone was like, I'm interested in this. I am overwhelmed with behavior cases. Is it something that I could just like take puppies on Rover? Or like,
Uh-huh.
do like
Yeah.
basic manners? I'm like, absolutely. And
Yeah.
I think that's one of the kind of the things that I always try to remind trainers that are interested is there is no contract, there is no non-compete.
Hmm.
Like, you can continue to run your business as usual. Rover is here to like support your business, or you as a trainer. And it is something where they can kind of decide, you set your prices, you set your travel radius, you kind of speak to the client that you're looking for in your profile. You can really lay that out. You're absolutely not required to accept everyone that reaches out to you.
Hmm.
It is, we want it to be like a good fit. You spoke a little bit to the having your company name, right? So
Hmm.
the way Rover has worked historically and is continuing to work with the training profile is you're an individual, right? It's an independent contractor. And so it's you as the individual trainer, and everything is basically privacy protected up until the point of booking. And then, the goal is for you to be able to just kind of go forward as business as usual when someone reaches out to you and you book them through Rover. But yeah, I think that was a little bit rambly, but I hopefully answered.
Not at all. It was very actually answered all the questions that I had about it, because it's important.
There's also I think Rover is very much understood from the beginning. It's not necessarily going to work for everyone, right?
I mean,
it's a platform that if it works for you, amazing. If it doesn't, you can set yourself to away anytime you need to. You can deactivate if it doesn't work out. But I always remind people but give us feedback, because we want to know if we want to be able to make it better, and kind of support the largest number of trainers we can in connecting with those folks that need help with their dogs.
Yeah, for sure. Just
happens.
It happens so frequently anymore, you guys.
Yeah.
Who's that? Who's the baby over there? Is that your Anatolia?
This is Polly.
Polly? Oh, this is a kitty.
This is a kitty. Yeah. Anatolian would not fit in the lap.
No, I thought maybe it was the head or something. Definitely not. No.
I don't know if I can get the camera to. Let's see. There she is.
Oh my goodness. Hi, kitty.
This is my little one-eyed cat.
He loves it.
She says, "I just have one eye."
Yeah, just chilling.
Yeah, she's my little lap cat. Only when I'm on the computer. She doesn't sit in my lap any other time. I'm sure.
So funny. Yeah, I have 8 cats currently. So there is. But one of my grumples is it's he has a radar that's she's get up and go to the bathroom soon, or she's on her laptop, or completely inconvenient for me to sit on her lap right now. So let's
do it now. Yeah,
that would be this one.
Yeah. And wait, there's a camera. Wait, let me make an appearance.
Yeah.
Sure. I think when I was talking to you guys, you and Allie, Tony grabbed a magnet off the refrigerator that day. I was like, this is not happening right now. Seriously? You freaking grabbed a magnet right off the refrigerator. Great.
Would never do it any other time.
No. Yeah. I mean, I know you're a puppy, but really? Come on. It's ridiculous.
Puppies are fun.
I know they are. When we got him, just a little sidebar, he was complete opposite. We were like, let's go. We were finally ready to get a puppy or a dog. We were finally ready to get a dog. We were going to go to the shelter, the one who was there the longest, and a female. And we came home with a puppy that was a boy. That's what did we just do? What happened?
No, I've always been a big dog person. I've always had pit bulls or German shepherds, and I currently have a 5-pound toy poodle. So
I love it. I love it.
She was the one that came into my life at the moment I needed her, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Who do you have, Kate? Who's living in your house?
Oh, we have all kinds of animals. It's a regular farm around here.
Is it?
Yeah, we have so the one you see in a bunch of the pictures in the program was my Chesapeake, kind of my heart dog. Everybody has that heart dog. And it's interesting to hear, Jenny talk about the dog she took through KPA, because I took Delta through KPA.
Oh, cool.
And part of the reason I ended up where I did was because of her behavior as a Chesapeake. She didn't really like a lot of people.
Shocker.
Really got into behavior modification. And that was what got me started. And what I find so interesting, because she taught me so much, Jenny, will we go and get this other big dog after she passed away, this Anatolian Shepherd. I have no idea what I'm doing with a guardian livestock. And an entirely different game.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's no treats. That's not a reward. What are you talking about? Food? Seriously? I could care less. I mean, you really are truly always learning. There's always something to learn. Every dog, like every person, is such an individual. But so we have a massive Anatolian who is, thinks she is here to guard the yard. And we have a blue full of chickens in the yard. And we have another little dog, Dotson. Who's
I love the Dachshund Anatolian combo.
I know, it's hilarious.
He is so he's a wire-haired Dotson, one of like the red ones. It doesn't look, and he doesn't act like standard. I mean, he has some standard Dotson personality, but in general, like he's not a yippy dog.
Yeah,
hasn't been. He's getting older, so he has a lot more to say. But we call him our little honey badger. Fits him very well. We have another red tabby somewhere around here, and then we do a lot over at my husband's grandma's farm, and so we have all kinds of lovely animals that end up there.
Nice
cats, and we had a untouchable Chow Chow.
Oh gosh,
which was very interesting.
Chow now. He was one of our meetings last week.
He joins the meetings sometimes when I'm in the car. He comes now, but you couldn't approach this dog. He's now been there a little over a year, but the first 6 months nobody could get near him or touch him. Now he's friends with the whole family.
Nice.
And he is a true Chow Chow. The kids were out there one day playing with him, and they said, "Something's wrong with him. Something's wrong with him. He has a black tongue." I said, "That's normal."
Nope. Came that way.
That's so cute. I think kids like who've never experienced that. Like,
yeah. So we have a whole bunch. We have goats. We have a handful of
nice
creatures.
You have everything. You have everything. So let's talk about the training program a little bit, because we didn't really kind of just danced around it a tiny bit. I mean, and for you and I and you, Jenny, is like, we're just like, yeah, what are we going to talk about the training program for? We don't know. It's so easy. It's learning theory, blah, blah, blah. And then people get on, they're like, what the hell is learning theory? What did I sign up for? So I mean, it's broken up into what, like 4 sections? Talk a little bit about it. Just like, in like a non-learning theory talk, if you can. I know, just for the people
so it's a foundations course, and it's broken up into 4 sections: introduction section, a section on cues, how to teach them, a section on basic behaviors when you're working with dogs, and then also a section on socialization as well. So again, it's at the beginning, but you have to know all the beginnings before you should do all the others, right? And so
what are some of those beginning things? Because they're going to want to know.
Right. So
pull it out of you bit by bit.
The introduction really focuses on, you'll hear people say learning theory, basically how dogs learn. And it's really not just dogs, it's how people learn. It's how any mammal learns, right? What makes them tick? How do they figure this out? And so it breaks that down, because if you're going to be training, then you need to know how that individual is going to learn, and every individual is different. So it looks at it from a lot of different perspectives. And then the other thing is, you also need to know, when you're working with whatever animal you might be teaching, in this case dogs, how they communicate. And so another big part of that is how dogs communicate, which is with their body language. And so it breaks that down all the way from eyes and barks, ears, tails, to the dog as a whole, because you need all of those pieces before you're moving forward, because it influences how you're going to set up practice sessions, how you may or may not teach a cue, what the dog finds rewarding or doesn't. And so that's where we get started. And then we look at basic cues, your sit down, stays, all the things everybody thinks their dog should know. And then from there, we dive in a little bit to more of the common behavior concerns: jumping, barking, digging, We also walk through socialization a bit because,
Mhm.
again, it's partially how the dog learns, their history, how they grew up, their lineage, all really important part when you're looking at how you're going to teach this candidate and what you're going to teach this candidate. And then at the very end, you get to take a test over everything you've learned.
Yay.
And as you
Boo.
said, you get to turn in some videos of you working with dogs
Yes.
because
So,
we want to see what you guys have, what people have learned, right? What
Yeah.
have they taken from the class with them?